Let's now go to Florida Governor Rick Scott, who is speaking about this tragedy in Orlando, Florida.
Law enforcement is doing their job, and our healthcare workers are doing everything they can for the victims. Is pray for everybody.
Here we have Rick Scott, Florida's governor, saying that prayer is apparently the best thing that people can do in this situation. In case you guys aren't aware, there's the biggest mass shooting / terrorist attack since 9/11 in the nation's history in Orlando, Florida. And if you are not aware, I live in Orlando, Florida. And this is my governor, Rick Scott, saying the best thing we can do now is pray. And you would think that maybe he would mention that once or twice, but it seems to be his go-to answer all the time, as you're about to see.
There are a lot of Americans watching right now who want to know what they can do to help. What can they do to help, sir?
I think the biggest thing is pray. Pray for the victims, pray for their families, pray that this never happens again.
Governor, will this event make you change your views and would you back any kind of gun legislation or restrictions on gun purchases, anything like that?
Right now, this is the time to find out exactly what happened. It's a time to pray for those that have been that have lost their families, that have lost their lives. Pray for the victims. There's going to be plenty of time to deal with, how our society comes together. But I can tell you, the Orlando area, the Orange County, the state of Florida, we're very resilient. But right now, our hearts and prayers go out to everybody that's been impacted. Thank God we have the law enforcement we have.
Is there anything that you can do on a policy level to stop something like this?
Sure. Look, we're dealing with a tragedy right now. Our prayers go out to everybody impacted. Law enforcement's doing their job. There will be plenty of time to think about how do we continue to improve our society, and we're going to continue to work on how we do that. Look, we're a resilient state. Bye-bye.
Well, we're gonna have to be a resilient state with a governor like fucking you, aren't we? When your solution to fucking issues, whether you think it's a gun issue or a terrorism issue, an Islam issue, or a fucking Second Amendment issue, you can all agree, hopefully, that prayer is not the fucking way to solve that issue. Thanks a lot for nothing, Rick Scott, you totally disingenuous piece of shit. It's unbelievable that this people can still get away with this prayer shit. And it's Rick Scott here in freaking Florida. It's Rick Perry over in Texas. And they just get away with I'm in charge and I could really set shit in motion and have a really strong opinion. But instead, I'm going to be totally milquetoast about it and just be like, well, you're going to pray about it and we're real resilient. Yeah. What choice do we have but to be resilient when we have fucking politicians like you in charge of running this shit? And let's not forget awesome people like Marco fucking Rubio here, who's going to say possibly the dumbest shit ever.
This could have happened anywhere in the world. Unfortunately, today was Orlando's turn.
Orlando's turn? As if every place in the world just has to take his turn at fucking mass shootings. As if that's just like the way it is now. Jesus fucking Christ. And I'm sorry for all, I'm not trying to take your guns or nothing, but for all the people out there that are like, the problem wasn't the one guy with the gun, it was all the other people that didn't have guns. That were the problem. Get the fuck out of here. A bunch of drunk people in a fucking dark nightclub fucking opening fire on each other, basically, is what you think is a better and safer alternative to some, better regulations? But thank you, Marco Rubio and Rick Scott, the kind of people we elect here in Florida. But don't worry, we're going to pray about it, and it's all going to get better, right? Jesus Christ. So, yeah, if you want to hear more about this, I'm sure I'll be talking about it on the goddamn podcast. Be sure to check it out. I'll include a link in the description. And until next time, Coctopus out.
Florida Governor Rick Scott, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate it. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and with the good citizens of Orlando and with Florida today.